我是谁？我是谁？
And I was like, ma'am, what are we doing?
My name's Jason, and I like Jinjee.
Forever. Forever. Forever.
Nasty.
Well, top of the bonjour.
Good morning, everybody.
Well, top of the bonjour to you. It's good to see ya.
Wednesday.
Happy hump day. It's good to see you, Philip, Torkington, and Jason. Jason, I hope you're doing good today. He said that work had him in a bummer mood. Totally not cool, bro.
Fuck work.
Fuck work. You know what? You won't have to be there forever. Not forever. Just for, the required amount of time. 35, 40 years.
Most of your life.
Most of your life.
Forever. Forever. Forever.
True, eventually I'll die. Sorry I missed the end of 3. No, don't feel bad at all.
What did we talk about at the end of
we basically just kind of...
We just, shoot the shit, like, general.
Yeah, it just came to its conclusion.
Yeah.
It was a little earlier than an hour and 45, but my eyes aren't as dry today from, it's not as smoky out and stuff. I went to the bathroom and you were gone.
Aww.
You went to take a pee. You know what I have to say to that? What? That's actually...
What? What's he say?
There's
Can I have the famous wiener in my anus?
There's a bird that lives in our tree now.
Oh,
maple tree.
The cedar waxwings?
Yeah, I'll show you.
They're very cute.
It's pretty neat. I just want to...
They're part of the passerine bird family. If that means
anything. The what?
Passerine. I don't know. When I look
the only thing I know...
That's what the internet tells me. It's part of the passerine bird family.
The passerine? Oh no, I thought I make that clip on the wrong...
He went in there to eat treats that Evan put in there and then hasn't been back in since.
Yeah, that doesn't really count though.
It was the same with the other house that Evan made him. So...
Well, the other house though, I don't blame him because it was like... It looked like Frankenstein's house. Because it was basically like... It started getting really cold and I felt really bad for Carl.
So we made him a box.
So I took all of our spare wood and just like literally without a plan was like, okay, I'm going to turn this into a box with a hole in it that Carl can go in. And I mean, technically it would have worked. Yeah. The only problem is eventually it got covered in snow.
Carl's been back like every day, multiple times a day since he went on his long multi-day adventure. Like he must have gone off adventuring, but...
My assumption is
very bold around the town. Like our neighbors have seen him multiple times when they're out for walks, and he's
my
funny.
assumption is he was on a murder spree.
Oh yeah,
like he didn't need our food, so he didn't come.
Yeah, especially because now when we know he's coming into the yard because the robins go up on the highest perch and start like yelling,
freaking out.
Yeah. Like, oh, Carl must be here.
At least Carl.
Because the birds are really upset.
These are the cedar waxwings that are
really
in our
neat.
yard now. They're not particularly uncommon apparently in North America, but they just have such neat.
They're very pretty.
These pictures are pretty low res.
Yeah, but they're cute.
They look constant. I mean, I'll give you that. I will give you that. Carl needs to murder. Oh yeah, it's funny. We told the neighbor because like he's very visible to us now.
Yeah.
So we told the neighbor. We seen him chasing around the gophers, and she was super happy because obviously she
doesn't want the gophers eating her food that she grows.
I would show you Jinjee as well. However, it's really there's not a lot of natural light right now. It's overcast.
He's laid in a terrible way as well.
Yeah, he's back in the dark, so you can't really see him.
He's crawled deep into the bags.
And I feel like if we turn a light on where the cat's trying to sleep is kind of a dick move. I'm trying.
It does look. It kind of looks like it's wearing like thick black eyeliner and like a
a to
mask.
me it looks like a Batman.
I think it's so pretty.
You know what I mean? They're very neat. They're much smaller than you think.
I thought that like just looking at them in like photos and videos, you'd think that they'd be a little bit bigger, but they're like no bigger than this.
Cats are dicks though.
I'd
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
That bird looks completely ready and kitted out to rob a bank. It looks like Batman as a bird. The thing that I find sometimes so interesting is like
they have little mohawks, which I like.
Like
Yeah,
they
like
say that, like to me, it looks like somebody took the MS Paint tool and dropped colors on it, right? Black, white, brown, black, as opposed to like a lot of birds that we see, like say one of them is just a generic song sparrow. You can see that it's it's tonal in color. It's all blends together in a form of camouflage.
Yeah. We actually found out the other day from our neighbor that sparrows will
Are dickheads?
Yeah, we didn't know that they laid their eggs in other birds' nests.
Yeah.
They're kind of a pest bird as well. Didn't know that.
This bird is actually Mr. Levahy's fault.
Oh yeah, it's an old world sparrow.
Yeah, this is called an old world sparrow. And
we do notice they're kind of bully birds in regards to the
we
sparrows.
thought
Can I
this
have the famous wiener in
potentially
my
a female cowbird. But yeah, these come from merry old England.
Those are dinosaur
That is a
feet.
really good. Look at the high res on that.
Look at those feet though. Like those are for sure dinosaur feet.
Oh yeah, times that by like 10, and you got a bald eagle. Which is it? Bald eagles are actually raptors.
Yes.
So yeah, we've gone full tits in on the full blue titted boobies on these birds.
Harpy eagles. Those things are fucking insane.
Oh yeah.
And same with shoebill storks. Those are also like these things are dinosaurs. They're literally living dinosaurs.
This is Mr. Levahy and this is Mrs. Levahy.
Aww. Aww. I see it.
Cats are dicks though sometimes. Don't get me wrong, cats are my favorite animal, but I would probably murder several people for any cat.
Yeah.
Once they get that
absolutely.
that hypnotism in.
I'm definitely one of those people that when I watch movies, I can emotionally handle human deaths, but not animal deaths.
Yeah. What was the bird you just mentioned?
I mentioned the harpy eagle and the shoebill stork. Oh, but there it is. Oh, but we just
that was how not to Google. Oh, what the hell is this?
It's a harpy eagle. It's fucking huge.
Oh, weird. Look
at the picture of the man next to it.
Wow. That actually kind of sounds like a deer, doesn't it? Let's watch this. I don't know. Sorry to start off with birds.
We're just bird people.
Yeah,
now,
we're obsessed with birds.
You need to accept that about us.
On Earth. What can be better than observing birds? Of course, observing large birds. And if possible, birds that possess more power than any other
saw a bald
magnificent
eagle
wingy fella on this crazy blue planet. I'm glad that you
Sounds
love this
dumb.
idea too, because today we will closely meet the one and only feathery friend from the continent of America.
It sounds like
the
a
harpy
shitty
eagle.
plastic whistle.
You're watching
right?
Wild Facts, and today I will tell you a story about a harpy eagle, the strongest eagle on this planet,
Yeah,
and
I
one
don't-
fairly good-looking guy. If you love birds and magnificent creatures
just wanna
that are just
see
too
its,
cool to
like,
exist,
claws
we
and
suggest
shit.
you hit the subscribe button
What
and
do you
join our
got,
animal-loving
fucking-
community. Also, do not forget to ring the bell
Like
to get
George
all
Washington.
notifications in time, because the harpy eagle will not wait for you.
We've got
So
to
now,
start- go
let's
back a
dive into the
little
life of this bold bird to find out
didn't
what his
skip
existence
anything.
is all
No,
about.
but
The origins of-
sorry, on the scrolling.
Almighty
That's what I
harpy
meant.
eagle. The harpy eagle, the first of its
Birds are dinosaurs, so that's fine. Sounds like a
name,
shitty
is the
plastic-
only member of its genus, Harpia.
Ah!
The Latin name of this extremely dangerous bird is Harpia harpgia. I guess the person who gave the eagle this
Harpia
name just loved the
harpia.
word so much that they called the bird species like that twice. However,
Isn't that just a weird sentence? The name of this mighty bird is, or the scary bird is Harpia, Harpia. It's like, don't touch that. It's a fluffy flufferkins.
firstly, these eagles were named by the famous scientist.
Are you
and a
feeling better
grandpa.
today, Mr. Evan? And how are you, Krissy? Not to leave you out.
I'm fine.
Must fold clothes. What does that mean? I'm just kidding. I'm doing better today. I never feel fully great, but for a couple hours after I take my pills in the morning, I'm a little more pliable instead of rickety animatronic. So, I'm all right. It's not as smoky out, so my eyes and sinuses aren't all fucked up. So, you know what? We're gonna run into town after stream and get a couple of thingy majiggies, and yeah, I'll be good, Miss Levity. How are you after you got your superpowers from the spider
The
bite?
theory of evolution, Carl Linnaeus, in 1758. The man gave the eagle name Vultur harpigia after the one very interesting beast from Greek mythology, harpy. These mythical creatures look like half birds and half women. Their main
You
job
don't know of the harpy?
I didn't. What was the one you were telling me that I didn't know the other day? It was a mythology story.
Oh, the
was to carry
Minotaur.
sinners and
You didn't know
I
how...
didn't know the story of the Minotaur.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a man beast or beast man. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was a kid, I didn't know what beast of burden meant, and I thought it was like a monster. So I may have called a Minotaur a beast of burden when I was a
Is
kid.
it also because of that Rolling Stones song?
I do like
your beast of burden.
Actually, yeah, that didn't help, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. I've not mentioned it to anyone yet, but it's been over 2 weeks without any symptoms. 9 months have passed since the bug bite and medicine reaction.
9 weeks.
Oh, 9 weeks. He said months.
But he said
Yeah,
later,
okay,
not
yeah,
9
yeah, yeah.
months. 9 weeks.
Doctor, I was like, fuck, time flies, Jesus. Doctor said 30% of people who get this have it permanently. So I'm assuming I got lucky so far.
Nice.
Honestly, that's just some crazy shit. And as somebody with generalized anxiety, I think that's like, if I didn't recently just get on the right dosage of this new medication, I would probably be having panic attacks thinking about that happening to me. It's those oddities that get me.
Should I retell the very simplified version of like the existence of the Minotaur that I told you?
Yeah, I'll bring up a
Okay.
picture just to.
So basically, like the queen of Crete was really attracted to this bull, and she made like her carpenter make a sex swing so she could have sex with the bull, and she did, and she gave birth to the Minotaur. And then her husband's like, "What the fuck is this abomination?"
You're so
And
fast.
built a labyrinth for it. There you go.
You were too
Greek
fast.
mythology.
You did that way too fast. I
Oh.
was trying to be funny and bring in a picture of a minotaur
Oh.
while you told it and be like, "Rah, I'm a sex minotaur. I was made for sex. Look at me."
There we go.
At least that's my understanding of the story from mythology. So there you go. You can quote that as you want.
I guess I just assumed it was like, where's Flip? Oop. I guess it was like just, I thought it was just like a beast that just kind of like sat in the I don't know, the pillars of marble in their weird fighting things, and was just like there.
No, it was like in the put in the labyrinth, and isn't it Theseus was like, you know, went through the, I think he killed it on his journey or whatever. I get so confused with the names in Greek mythology. There's too many people. Yeah, he was in the labyrinth, and they would put people in the labyrinth and as punishment, and the Minotaur would eat them. So when I think it was Theseus, I could so be wrong. He was, you know, landed on Crete and, I don't know, put in the labyrinth to be killed by the Minotaur, but then he killed the Minotaur instead.
This is blasphemy. I did not do any of this. I was used for sex.
But I do think they have found actual archaeological evidence of a labyrinth on the island of Crete. But what's also interesting is they have two types of writing. Something linear A and linear B, I think it's called. And linear B, they've never been able to decipher.
Well, actually, so I don't know Miscellany. The scariest Greek thingy is Talos from Jason and the Argonauts. Scared the crap out of me. I looked it up. We'll see. It looks like a normal person. Minotaur looks like he's smelling a fart.
I was right. It was Theseus. Yay.
The weird thing is like, I really enjoyed Hercules growing up. I mean, everybody did. It's kind of generic, right? But
like the Disney movie.
Yeah, because how the fuck does it go? I can go the distance. I'll be there someday if I can be strong. And I know every mile will be worth my while. And then he says, I can go the distance. And I never ever learned those words. I never looked them up in 34 years of life. I just at the end, I just trail off. But Mr. Levity's favorite, he didn't like Hercules like most of us. He liked Bophades. Yeah, it was his brother, actually. Bophades nuts! You didn't laugh as hard as I thought.
Sorry.
You sounded like everything. You sounded like Creed. Whoa, oh, wait, what was that one song we heard the other day?
You're gonna love my nuts.
I can't think of a Creed song right now. I used to know, we just thought of it the other day and it was stuck in my head. Either way, you get it.
Yeah. Fucking Creed.
Can I have the famous wiener in my anus?
Talos, based on the Titan of the same name, is a minor antagonist in the Jason and the Argonauts, also known as Jason Pluviophilion.
He's a living giant bronze statue who lives on the Isle of Bronze.
What?
Huh. Weird.
The Isle of Bronze.
He's an evil doer.
He is an evil doer. Thus described by the fandom. Evil doer. I didn't even know that was a proper classification for...
Yeah.
I thought that was just like a comic book thing.
Oh, this is just villains.fandom. I'm curious how many other classifications they have on villains other than evil doer.
When you're with me, I'm free. I'm careless. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. When you are with me. I won't kill everybody's eardrums. Talos is the Isle of Bronze. 70 meters tall. Is it bad that I don't know that in...
You can't conceptualize it?
I don't know it.
Think
in
about how
metric.
big 1 meter is, right? You know how big a meter stick is, right?
Yeah, it's like 3.5 feet.
Well, and think of it like, I think of 70 of those.
Holy shit, it's 230 feet tall? How many hectares is that? Fuck.
How close is it to kilometers?
Yeah,
Actually, there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer, right?
Yes.
So
that's why metric everybody likes it, because it's convertible by 10.
it's close to 1/10
He
of
only
a
attacked the
kilometer.
crew because they stole his treasures.
So it's about a block. It's about a block.
He's like one city block. He's like a
about
2-minute
city
drive.
block, yeah.
He's like a 1-minute drive.
Yeah.
1-minute drive.
Yeah. It depends how fast you're going. So if you're driving 100 kilometers an hour.
So he does not. Yeah, what is that one meme where the guy's like, so if I was traveling 100 kilometers an hour, how far would I be after an hour? And she's like, I'm not good at math. Shut up. And he's like, no, like, think about it. And she's like, fuck you. His biography. He was first seen by Hylas and Hercules on top of a structure. Seemingly normal statue in his dormant state when they attempted to steal a brooch the size of a javelin from the chamber. Talos came to life and pursued them and the other Argonauts. When they tried to escape the Isle of Bronze, Talos stood above their ship, picked it up, then destroyed it. Jason asked Hera if there was a way to defeat Talos, and she told Jason to use his wits and look for Talos' ankle. Well, what do you mean use your wits? Like, you just told him what to do. He doesn't need to use his wits.
I thought you said wheats, and then
So when he fought
you said
them,
wits.
his back foot was open. Fuck. Causing a substance to leak out of him in the back. He grabbed at his throat as though he was choking, and the giant began to crack and become unstable. The Argonauts ran away from him as Talos could crush them by falling over. Hercules dropped his weapon while running away, but Helios tried to retrieve it. Helios was crushed and killed by Talos' falling body, which had the head and arms break off, killing him.
Oh, that sucks.
I didn't know that.
Jason, it's not that the metric system sucks. It's just that here in Canada, we live with such a freaking mishmash of shit that sometimes it's hard to mentally conceptualize how big a long measurement is.
Yeah.
You're like, how should I like think about this in my brain to try to conceptualize it? Should I think in like the little bit of imperial measurement that I understand, or should I try to like convert this into the metric system in some way that makes sense to me in kilometers?
Kilometers!
Bitches better be using jimmies.
Trizzle, it's so good to see you. I hope you've been well. We were just looking up Talos, who is an evildoer. So you'd think somewhere in this it would say who built him, or like Greek. I find Greek so interesting, like Greek mythology, because it's like it is wonderful storytelling, right? Absolutely wonderful. But to believe it is like things that actually happened is crazy.
Yeah.
That's too damn bad.
Like, Talos is also a god in Tamriel?
I don't know what Tamriel is.
Is that one of those boyfriend dungeon games you've been playing from Steam?
It's a game.
Have you been playing those boyfriend dungeon games? Oh, Elder Scrolls. I've never played any of them, TBH. I've watched my cousins play them.
Oops, exposed.
Oh, I'm exposed as not a freaking gamer? I'm not a real gamer. Tamriel, that's gotta be smut. Yeah, see, Trizzle read that book too. He stole it from his uncle's closet.
Easy game made for babies.
I'm gonna close the window because I'm a bit chilly.
Talos was built by Hephaestus to guard the treasures and inventions of Hephaestus. Ah, yes, I know Hephaestus. He made the lightning bolts. And that was in the cartoon. Silly hat man's got the silliest willy around. I thought that was going to have a transparent background, but meh. Oh wow, I'm surprised that Evan doesn't play video games. I can't believe it. I am crushed. I do play video games. I play Genshin Impact, okay?
It's true. He's in Genshin Impact.
The problem is, okay, call me a weeb. Oh.
Hashtag this is not paid. Oh, you forgot about your coffee. Me too. But you know, honestly, I have gurgle guts from all the coffee I drank.
It's warm.
earlier.
It's lukewarm now, which sucks.
Beetle piss warm.
So the problem is it actually does have a pretty good story, and sometimes I'm just not in the mental brain space to pay attention to the story, so I haven't been playing it.
I used to really enjoy the Professor Layton games on my DS.
We did try and play it.
Yeah.
It's for smart kids.
Yeah. You just walk around and do puzzles. But the storylines are cool.
I'm looking forward to your segment on Elon Musk. Is he actually broke? Well, let's take let's take a look at it here. We'll start with the first thing that we came across yesterday. So, Elon Musk or Felon Nuts. I don't know why. It just came up with that. Felon Nuts sues Watchtel law firm to recoup fees from Twitter buyout. So the man who was forced into paying $44 billion to buy Twitter because nobody asked him for his input, and he said, you know what, Twitter, I'll give you 54 cents a share. And Twitter executives went, you out of your fucking mind? And so they ended up basically, Elon tried to back out saying he was memeing, but he was forced by a court in Delaware to pay $44 billion for the world's dumbest purchase. And basically what Watchtel is, so...
Have fun memeing your way out of
have fun
$44 billion.
being the meme lord of this. So what happened was, when Elon Musk tried to squelch, they went, Twitter, or, the owners at the time, they went to this Watchtel law firm who specializes in these gigantic acquisitions. And basically, they were the ones that forced or got the courts to kind of, they made the argument that he should have to buy it. And he did. So as a means of achieving the results they wanted, they got paid $90 million. So,
which is like 2%.
Yeah. So Twitter got gotten $44 billion because their lawyers made this deal go through. And as compensation, they were given 0.2% of that $44 billion, which is $90 million. Well, Musk is... He's calling a foul. He calls a foul upon this.
I don't plan on paying this.
He says that basically because the original contract by Watchtel and Twitter said there would be some form of compensation, but it didn't outline how much, or, if it's based on a percentage, or, just kind of like there will be compensation. And then basically when they determined that this was going to happen and Elon was going to have to buy it, hours before that closed, they made this $90 million payout. Legitimately, like, here's my debit card, here's your 90 mil. Because apparently Elon's thoughts is those lawyer fees should have been on hold until the new owner took over, so that they could decide to pay the bill or not.
Yeah.
And
they paid it like minutes before.
They paid it minutes before. So Elon Musk is saying they shouldn't have paid it. They should have waited for the new owner to check the legitimacy of it to pay it. And everyone's saying, well, this is just because Felon Nuts is known for squelching on his deals and not paying people. And so he's really pissed off, and he's trying to reclaim that $90 million, saying that nothing that they could have done in hours before the deal that was already done went through could have constituted that much money. Like, basically, the lawyers took Twitter to, rake them over the coals for $90 million. So he thinks that indeed he is going to be able to get some of that money back from them, which is it's just so strange, because he's thinking that it's completely unfounded that they would be paid that much money for a few months of work, because it's unconscionable that they would do it. 0.2% of the earnings that you've made the company, I'm pretty sure is actually less than standard for a lawyer.
Yeah. Like,
if somebody won a lawsuit for $100 million, I assume that lawyer is going to get like $500,000, and that is greater percentage than 0.2%.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting. But meanwhile, you know, aside from his trying to monetize every facet of that, the Tesla directors simultaneously were accused of overpaying themselves a return of $735 million. The directors are Elon Nuts and Kimball Musk. I don't know who Kimball Musk is. The Oracle co-founder, Larry Ellison, and James Murdoch, son of Rupert Murdoch. So these four people paid themselves $735 million. But because it was again filed in Delaware, it's part of a retirement fund that is an open stock options, or in this part I don't fully understand. I'm not a very I
don't understand any of this.
Yeah,
shit.
it has to do with because it's part of the public ecosystem, the money in it, or the money that the shares they make, is tied to other things, right? So it says the police and fire retirement system of the city of Detroit challenged the stock options that were granted to the Tesla directors starting in June 2017, describing them as unfair and excessive.
I'll describe this as how I understand it. Rich people are doing cup and ball things with lots of money so that they can have more money in way that not good. That's how my brain understands.
So Kimball Musk is apparently Elon's brother.
That makes sense, given the name.
And they all have, you know, agreed to return some $3.1 million worth of stock options.
Okay.
But they were accused of awarding themselves more than 11 million, right? And basically the court filings are saying that the directors alleged grossly exceeded norms for the corporate board. While the court filing noted the directors acted in good faith and in the best interest of Tesla stockholders, they agreed to settle the case to eliminate the uncertainty, risk, burden, and expense of further litigation. So the $730 million settlement to be paid to Tesla to benefit the company is them taking back the money that they thought they awarded themselves, and now that
you're like, oh,
Elon Musk has been using his finances to offset his losses, they are clawing back as much money as possible. And
they're trying to interject cash flow back into their corporations. Yeah. There
was also yesterday, they tried to launch more Starlink satellites, and a couple minutes before launch, they had to scrap the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Elon's brother runs that solar panel company. I think that I seen something about it being shady.
I too dislike rich people very much. Like, there's no way you can be this rich without acquiring your wealth through without like shady means, you know?
What? Tesla investors, Tesla bought his fucking solar panel?
Seems about right.
Tesla.
We're making Jason depressed.
This is making me more depressed. Quick, tell me a joke. Joke. My face. We have, how about Jason loves Jinjee. But yeah, basically, because
my name's Jason and I like Jinjee.
A large portion of advertisers have pulled out of Twitch because of, or Twitter, because of Elon taking over. It's basically just started like a historic downfall. Like, I hope this gets written about in like financial education classes and shit like that, to be like, this is what not to do. Jason does love Jinjee, though. That's not no. Mm-hmm. Why did Carl cross the road? He didn't. Oh, he didn't, because he's a clever boy.
That is good. He's a very clever boy.
He's a very clever boy.
He goes across Mode Road, but that's about it.
He does.
And by Mode Road, we mean there's like a road in the back area that our neighbors keep mowed, and we go for walks down it. I've seen them drive on it when they go to like water their plants. And when my mom was down visiting last, we were going for a walk, and some old people were driving around it because, oh, we just want to look at the old vehicles, which is like our neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Which I found strange. Like, it's very much, it's not a very public road. It's very much like,
Yeah, it's called mowed road.
Yeah,
I mean, it gets mowed. It's grass.
So to say my mom and I were confused when we saw people who didn't live here driving on it is very much an understatement. Especially because they were in a very ritzy red convertible Mustang.
Ritzy! Actually, Jason, I do have a good joke for you. Are you ready to ha-ha in your pants? Good sir? Or outside of your pants, however you ha-ha mostly. The first generation iPhone sold at auction for $190,000 US, about 380 times its original price. So it came out at $599 in 2007.
That's not even that old.
Yeah, the 4 gigabyte model was 20 times rarer. That sounds like, I don't like saying that word. Rarer. The 8 gigabyte model released at the same time for $599.
Maybe it's weird to us because we're like, strapped by our Canadian accents to say it in a certain way, as like we need to pronounce all of the A's and all of the R's, and it's hard.
Like pirates. Well, that's depressing. So, basically, the 4 gig model was so sought after because it was discontinued shortly after 2 months because it needed a larger memory size. So the 8 gigabyte model sold for $63,000 in February and one for $39,000 in October. And this place said, we set a new bar. The founder of LCG Auction says, we are thrilled to be part of this fantastic.
This is like rich people laundering their
scale.
money for fucking sure.
Did Marcus Brownlee buy one of these?
I wish I had held on to a VHS player.
Did. Marcus, I told Mrs. Krissy didn't know who Marcus Brownlee was, and I had to show her. He was on Hot Ones or something. I can't remember why he popped up.
I don't know. I still don't know who he is.
Because rarer is indeed awkward to say. More rare. Yeah, rare.
More rare.
It's like Turok Rage Wars for N64 sells at a higher price than the version which crashes constantly because it was discontinued. Yeah, it's like the only thing that people are willing to let die and go to history and not buy it for more in the future is the ET game for Atari.
Well, they were all dumped in a landfill.
Yeah,
so.
like Code Synth apparently owns one, and I thought it was like super rare, but everyone's like, "Oh no, get this out of here!" Holy Agnoposaurus!
Hey.
Hello, you lovely teddy bear. Let's see if Jinjee's camera is. Yeah, it's still so dark you can't really see him. How are you, Agnope? It is lovely to see ya. It has been absolutely forever. It's wonderful. I'm so happy that you got a chance to pop in. Hopefully we look a little better.
Forever.
My hobby is getting ransacked now too. VHS prices are wild. VHS are so much fun to hold though.
Are they?
No, well, they don't get scratched like CDs and you know.
Yeah, but the like tape can get destroyed. Like,
that's
on a
true.
cassette.
That's true. Or when your VCR, your video cassette recorder, goes all haywire and eats the tape.
Yeah. Yeah, and the quality was never great. Like, it was cool that you could tape over shit. That was like the cool aspect. And if you figured out like the little area that if you like literally taped over the side of the VHS, you could tape over non-tapeable VHSs.
Yeah, you know what?
That was a fun hack. You could ruin a lot of movies that way.
My grandmother could not figure out the input button on the remote. However, she could record the shit out of her soap operas every single day.
Yeah.
And it used like 2 remotes, and like the VCR was connected to the Shaw box, which was connected to the TV, because you had to route it properly if you wanted to record it over last year's Christmas video.
Yeah. Drizzle says all horror movies are better on VHS, even new movies. Oh, I will say the thing I miss about old TVs is the DGOS button.
Oh, we've talked about that several times.
Because DGOS is satisfying.
Yeah,
old monitors, old TVs, DGOS and that shit. Oh, the young kids nowadays, they'll never know the joy of a good DGOS.
Let's see if we can find that one video. It's very satisfying.
It's
we just
so
don't,
satisfying.
They're gonna have to invent something that you're allowed to.
I just miss DGOSing.
Prepare for pure satisfaction. Apparently, popping zits is ultimate satisfaction, and then removing rust, and those could be interchangeable.
Yeah. And DGOS.
DGOS is definitely the third one.
Yeah.
If you don't know what this is, you missed out. You missed out.
Forgot about this.
Oh God.
Video.
Oh God. Don't do it. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Frickin' DGOS.
That was a good DGOS.
Honestly, it's like the equivalency of like shaking all of your limbs at once to get all that excess energy out. Rubbing Evan's nose is also satisfying. How dare you? Agnope, we do have commands on the tubes if you want. They're just slightly different. Yeah, the freaking CRT DGOS, top tier stuff right there. How are things for you in New Zealand? I know most of the world's on fire. Even
here it's cold.
Where we grew up, they're like roasting hot, and we're like, we're wearing long sleeve coats.
I had to close
shirts.
the window because it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been like the highest it's been this week was 25 mid-afternoon, which is like perfect weather. I love 25, but throughout most of the day, probably around like 18.
Agnope got some food poisoning.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. It's funny because my uncle just got remarried, and they had a thing this weekend, but we didn't go. It's just a lot for me physically to be able to hang out in non-specific comfortable chairs and shit. But they all got something. So they've all been like projectiling out of their mouths and anuses for
I asked it if it was like food poisoning, and they're not particularly sure if it was food poisoning or actually like a sickness that was passed person to person.
Well, there's a lot of children now, and I asked my mom, did you guys put out a shitload of finger foods?
And she's like, well, I was sick and I made food. They made me make food. And it's like,
I was like, what? Didn't you learn anything over the last couple years?
Yeah. This, like, I feel like, people might think that we're a little bit crazy because we still wear masks in public, but I haven't gotten sick in 3+ years, so there's that.
Yeah, and for me, it's just excessive coughing is like my body's being hit like a drum, and it just fucks up my abdomen and my chest and my back. And like the crazy thing is Agnope, you remember this, I know you people from New Zealand are nice and strong, but once you get past 30, you gotta brace yourself for a sneeze, or you might blow your fucking back or your anus out. The mask doesn't protect you, it protects everyone else. Yeah, and so that was the hardest thing for us and I'm past 30. Well, you don't look it, even though I don't know what you look like. You look like, oh yeah, Jason's child was ill last week. Pardon my slip. I am an idiot. An idiot sandwich.
An idiot sandwich.
That's me. Idiot sandwich. That's what everyone ate and got sick.
Star jumps? Is that like burpees? Or jumping jacks?
Burpees.
An Australian sailor.
Do you call jumping jacks star jumps?
What's a star jump?
Is this a New Zealand thing?
Man, looks. What is this?
Jumping jacks. Okay.
This guy looks like.
I mean, star jump does make
Soviet
sense.
Russia. This is jump jack. In Soviet Russia, jack jump you. These are my military pants.
You are in the shape of a star. That does make absolute sense.
These
It makes more sense to call it a star jump than a jumping jack.
Warrior Fitness. Come on, man. Why can't people just work out normal?
Hi,
Why
I'm Alex
does,
Bell from Warrior Fitness Bootcamp here in New York City, and today I'm going to discuss how to do
why
a
does
star
everything
jump.
got to be like
Star
a
jump is a
faux
great
boot
exercise
camp?
that really tones your legs, your
This
Oh, it's a
guy.
little- is-
This why you wear camel pants to work, dude?
Okay, star jumps
butt
are a lot
and really gets
cooler
that heart
than
rate up
jumping.
to really burn that fat.
That
Now, all
seems
you
to
want
be
to
a
do
bit different
is
than a
just find
jumping
a.
Do you
jack.
think jumping jacks came from the game jacks?
No.
Because like they bounce when you throw them. Where the hell would the name jumping jack even come from?
Call them
space
anus
and
jumps
yourself.
because
The
you're
first
in
thing
the
you wanna do
shape
is
of
just
an
squat down nice and low,
anus.
right? Get nice and
I
low.
call them
Put your hands on your
Patricks
feet.
because
All
you're
you
in the
gotta do is
shape
you're
of a
gonna float up
star.
into a star. It's real simple. It's a
I
very
like to do Patrick
intense,
jumps.
simple exercise.
What the fuck?
It builds
That's not how I
everything in
do
your
them.
lower back. So look like this. Squat down
I know it's
and
like
explode
I
up into a
literally
star,
just go
right
like
back
this.
down, hands to your toes. Keep your head up, keep your back straight, everything nice and tight. Explode up, right back down, touching your toes. It's a great exercise.
Howcast.com. How to jump?
These aren't jumping jacks. These are star jumps.
I seen something the other day I thought was funny, and it made this actually makes sense. If you are feeling bad about yourself, just remember there are people legitimately Googling how to become an alpha male. Like,
That's like some of the Yahoo Answer shit is really quite funny.
he's doing some evolved squat leap. I'm gonna. Where does the term jumping jack come from? Jumping Jack Horner sat in the corner.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Miranda Lambert. That's why we have that in the title, Mr. Levity.
Yes. Just after this, we will talk about. I mean, we're segueing in from this insanity to coming insanity.
Yeah, like you said, we're a morning talk show, but we, gotta. When we have very little topics to talk about, we need to draw it out. And we also, I think, have kind of like ADD or some such things that make us go, oh, that reminds me of this. And then we like tangent spiral real hard.
Yeah.
So you're welcome for that.
Yeah. It's always fascinating. Country musicians losing it. Interesting. Also, biggest selling country song of all time is I Walk the Line. My favorite Johnny Cash song is it's a Hurt, which is not actually his song.
That AI Johnny Cash thing I found the other day.
Oh, what was that? But here, I'll bring it up. But the origin of the name of this exercise can be traced to wooden toys shaped like people, usually soldiers or jesters, that splayed their arms and legs when a string or stick was pulled.
There you go.
It still doesn't make sense.
Mr. Levity, you're wondering why he is astray? Because he won't let us adopt him. Like, we want him to be our cat.
Yeah.
As to why he's here, people in the rural are kind of dickwads and will just, like, drop cats off that they don't want. And
I hurt myself.
it happens. So that's probably how he got here.
To see if I still feel. See? Philip Torkington. He's a master music person. This is something Krissy encountered for coming up on the Barbenheimer.
Oh yeah.
The frickin' Barbenheimer. For those who don't know, it is a combination of Barbie Girl and Oppenheimer, because they release tomorrow, I believe.
Hello, I'm not Johnny Cash.
I'm not Johnny Cash.
You click. It's gonna start playing.
Oh shit.
Oh, well, I take blood, Santa cannot lie. You are the brother.
Close it.
Sorry.
Close it.
I should be able to.
Because you still have the tab open.
No, that's a different one.
No, it isn't.
This?
Oh, sorry. Okay. There you go.
Hello, I'm not Johnny Cash. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Oh, come on, Barbie, let's go party, 'cause I'm in a Barbie world. If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever, friendship never ends. Up in my hands, up to play my song, the butterflies fly away. Yeah, 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 it's a party in the USA. This is what you guys call music? Well, I'll be damned.
Well, I'll be goddamned.
Arguably, he made all these songs so much better. But I do like the song.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
Well, if they free me from this AI, if my voice was only mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line. Far from Barbie world, that's where I want to stay. Oh, come on, Barbie, let's go party and take my blues away.
See, this is what AI is good for.
The prime example of why AI voice needs to stop.
Yeah.
Listen to this one. I'm a Barbie girl. So Elvis sings Baby Got Back. This is a channel called There I Ruined It.
Oh, I like big butts and I cannot lie. You are the brothers I can't deny. That when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. You get sprung. Oh, you get sprung. Deep in the jeans she's wearing, I look and I can't stop staring. Baby got back. My anaconda don't want none unless she got the buzz high.
I honestly kind of want that to be a clip. My anaconda don't want none.
Anaconda don't want none unless you got the buzz high. I'm begging for a piece of that bubble, so go and find that juicy double, and you get sprung. Oh, you get sprung. I don't want no other but now, baby, it's just yours now. I'm thinking I'll pick it up.
I mean, I don't know if he ruined it. I think
No, I
it's
would
great.
say he made arguably both those songs better.
I mean, country music has touched the hearts of millions, you know, and their fans, they love being at the concert so much they just want to take a picture for memorandum. But unfortunately, Miranda Lambert freaked the fuck out on a couple of people that were at her concert trying to take a picture. Now, initially, on its head, it seems like, you know, who would... She stopped singing. She stopped in the middle of the show to call out a group of fans that were taking photos. So she stopped right in the middle of apparently a song called Tin Man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she said, these girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song, and it's pissing me off. So this article is... They had contacted some of the people that she yelled at. So this is the TikTok.
Something about the fall apart. I'm gonna stop right here for a sec, Danny. I'm sorry. These girls are worried about their selfie and not listening to the song. It's pissing me off a little bit.
Let's go. Come on. You don't do that to fans.
Something about the fall apart.
Let's go.
So the interesting part is, I'm not sure how I feel or who's in the wrong.
I have nuanced feelings on this.
So that is weird. And when I watched this, I thought to myself, ugh, that's kind of, it seems like Miranda Lambert has like a chip on her shoulder. But then I kind of scrolled down, and the interesting thing, yes, so what we said is they paid to see her.
Yeah.
So it's, this is part of it. But the interesting thing is it's like a sit down concert.
They were like kind of being, it seems they were being a little bit showboaty in their posing for the pictures. But I do completely agree. They paid like $750 for their tickets to be there. I was saying to Evan, like a lot of the shows I've been to, pretty much all the shows I've been to have been in bars. So there is nothing, like if you were to see a group of girls posing like this to take a photo in a bar while a band is playing, you wouldn't think anything of it. You'd just be like, yep, there was some girls out enjoying some music, taking a picture to enjoy it. I can see how maybe it was disruptive to some of the people around it, seeing how like posy it is and everybody, but like at the same time, if you paid $750 fucking dollars to be there, I would
never pay that much to listen to anyone play country.
No, God no.
I'm sorry if that is offensive to anybody.
Sorry if you like this shit. It's
not creative enough.
No.
Or good enough for that much money. Only if Willie Nelson came and it was cheaper than that would I go.
Yeah.
Or they resurrected some people from the dead. But basically, what the people said, everyone was having a great time. We stood up at times and danced. It was great energy. But after it happened, it was kind of like that parents yelling at each other at the dinner table, awkwardness, right?
But yeah, I agree with you. It looks like they're doing a photo shoot and that's rude to the other attendees. So that's why I say it's
tough,
like nuanced.
right?
Like you kind of, I see it from both sides. It's hard.
Yeah, and so originally I wanted to say Miranda Lambert is just being a bitch because she's entitled. But when I seen these pictures, I started thinking to myself, well, that is kind of like odd if it is a slow song, and as the person singing it would be distracting, but that's supposed to be her jam. She's an artist, right? But there were things that I thought were interesting where they had indicated they tried to take them before the show, but the lighting wasn't good enough. So they asked another audience member to take the pictures during the show. So these pictures were taken by somebody else who paid $750 to watch Miranda Lambert.
Jason, as far as I'm aware, she didn't offer anything other than it's kind of pissing me off.
Yeah, I think she just went back into it after that and tried to kind of pick up like it wasn't awkward.
It says after it happened, it was just not the same.
Yeah, after she said that, I guess the energy really, as you would assume, everyone in the audience was probably like, I'm not sure how to act anymore.
Yeah.
Like if she had said they're being rude to other people, then it'd be more justified. Yeah,
because
it's tough.
I also understand wanting to take a picture to commemorate something that you're going and doing, right? Yeah. So I can understand wanting to pose for that picture. You have a picture of the person you're there, you paid $750 to see, you're posing with your girlfriends that you went to see the show with. And I also think if this were happening probably at Coachella, no one would take any mind. But maybe because it's an enclosed environment, I don't know. There is always a time and place for stuff. I don't think anybody's I don't think anybody's right, and I don't think anybody's wrong in this situation, weirdly enough.
Yeah, it's the more I looked at it, I was thinking, I've been to most of the concerts I've been to, all the concerts I've been to are not slow oriented music. Like AC/DC, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, maybe Tom Petty's got some slower songs, all that. So I don't really know what it's like to be at a concert where there's quiet, but I've been to comedy shows where It would, if you were at a
Yeah.
comedy show and you stood up in front of other tables to take a picture like that,
It'd
you
be
would
weird.
probably get made fun of
Oh,
by
yeah.
the comedian.
Or if you were to like go watch a live play, you wouldn't do that, right? It's just it does make it kind of confusing because like there's also like certain rules about taking pictures during live performances,
A lot of
right?
places don't allow it.
Yeah.
If you take your phone out, sometimes, security on the stairs will be like, put your phone away or
Yeah.
whatever, like, as they don't want you to record. But I don't think I'd expect one at a Miranda Lambert concert. A violin concerto. Philip went to a Vanessa Mae concert in Manchester.
I don't know if I know who Vanessa Mae is.
Everyone there was expecting a classical concert, but she played lots of techno stuff and asked everyone to dance. It was mostly confused older people. Oh Jesus. Yeah, it's interesting. I think probably both parties involved need to look at themselves and if their actions took other people's experience into account, right? Like Miranda Lambert, there were probably quite a few people that left going like, "Ooh, that was weird," but there was probably a lot of people that left going, "Those fucking people were being assholes."
Well, and also I think the part of the problem here is when you charge so much money for a ticket, like $750,
that's a lot.
People feel entitled to a little piece of ownership over you, right? So
Of
if
your time,
so if I'm paying that much money, and so I have like 5 friends here, we've each paid $750 to see you, so that's close to what, like $4,500, I think, something like that. I, at that point, feel a little entitled to take a picture of myself with my friends in front of you.
Yeah.
That's a huge investment of our group of, like, as a group of money, like, people, our money into seeing you.
That's
and
the
so,
kettle,
like I
by
said,
the way.
It creates a level of ownership people feel over the performer when you charge that much money for something.
Oh yeah, and Jason said something earlier. He said it's kind of her job to keep their attention.
It's true.
And I'm thinking, so I went to the Black Keys and Cage the Elephant, and I was front row, like arms on the stage. I was deaf for like 2 weeks after, but I can't imagine a single moment in the opening, Cage the Elephant, or the show where I wanted to pull out my phone to take a picture because we were just fucking going full. We were so into it, right? So it's kind of interesting that, like Jason said, I assume Tin Man is a slower song by that little snippet. Once she started playing a slower song, it was like, okay, let's take the picture now.
Yeah.
But
I understand what you're saying. If everyone paid that much and wanted a picture, they'd ruin the concert. I understand that, but you do also see where you go to a lot of concerts nowadays, people are just standing there holding up their cell phone, taking a video of it. So they're still technically taking a picture. They're just not posing in the picture. So they're just doing it technically in a less distracting way, but in a way that they can also then replicate, like, share that copyrighted content online or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of other things, like I'd imagine at plays and opera and musicals, you're probably not allowed to pull your phone out. You probably have to have them off,
Or
right?
even I know a lot of comedians also have, like, you have to sign like a written thing where you won't take picture or video of it because they don't want their jokes getting out.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, they should, if she doesn't want people taking pictures or like video or anything, she needs to make some performances have lasers that ruin cameras. We've seen that.
Yeah.
You need to stipulate to your audience somehow, like, no photography of any kind during the performance. That's up to them to stipulate, and then if that's stipulated, then by all fucking means, stop the performance midway through your song to call out those ladies. But if you haven't stipulated anywhere no use of filming devices of any kind, you can't call them out for it. At least that's that. But like, you know, there is a level of kind of an unspoken social rule where you won't have a lot of people doing that, and I think that's kind of left over from like theater etiquette of what, at least, you know, some people still have it, but not a lot of people do, especially after, let's face it, COVID. And well, not that COVID's over really, but you know, after the whole isolation thing, a lot of us lost what, like, basic social norms. You know what I mean? Yes. A lot of us lost that, like, secondary socialization skills that we used to have. And, you know, myself included. I don't know how to be a person now out in public sometimes. I feel so awkward. But, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I never had socialization skills, yeah.
Well, there kind of was a...
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, please don't. It's weird.
There used to be, and not that it was impressive, you know, like our grandparents had a private and a public socialization where when you were at the grocery store, you knew to have your cart to the side and consider other people while you're shopping, or if someone has 2 items and you have a cart full, you let them ahead of you. You know, like there was kind of like unwritten kindnesses you afforded to others, and everyone kind of went inward when we were isolated and decided that it was more about just being true to yourself and not necessarily caring about everyone around you. But, and I understand that's a slippery slope, right, for what's considered socially normal.
Which kind of ties us into our next topic that we want to talk about.
Yeah, like, for instance, how it's hard. You think the things that you perceive are how other people perceive them as well.
Yes.
And it's important to look at yourself and say, oh shit, that's not what I intended, but...
Look at life beyond yourself.
But hey, maybe the song I wrote that's pro-guns and potentially racist is not a good idea. So Jason Aldean, if you remember, Las Vegas, had a gigantic shooting massacre. Remember a couple years ago, where was it? It says it in this article. There was 2017. There was a mass shooting in Las Vegas, and he was on stage during that. So the song is a pro-gun song called "Try That in a Small Town." And again, this is our opinion. This is the article.
To which, when I hear that song title, I immediately thought to myself, is he like a sundowner? Which... Yeah,
so from him, he says there isn't a single lyric in the song that refers to race or points to it. When people accuse them of writing a pro-lynching song. So, country star Jason Aldean is in controversy after releasing a song in which he declares that small towns won't stand for the lawlessness many cities across the U.S. have faced in recent years. Aldean's latest track, Try That in a Small Town, takes a direct shot at those who participated in riots that have plagued the U.S. cities and those who have shown disrespect for law enforcement and the American flag.
You know, I would like to see people try this in a small town.
Yeah, so there's... you think you're tough? Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road, Aldean sings. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't.
Yeah. Small town.
These are lyrics.
Yeah, those are lyrics. So, like I said, and when he is like, is this like a Sundowner song? Like,
Yeah.
is he?
So as he's singing those lyrics during the movie, fiery imagery of protests from the 2020 Black Lives Matter marches are playing in the background as he sings "Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough? Try that in a small town." So he sings passionately also about the right to bear arms when he was in arguably one of the largest mass shootings in the States. He says, "Got a gun my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. While that shit might fly in the city, good luck." So
He's basically saying, don't try shit in a small town. We're racist enough that we're gonna, like, kill you.
well, not necessarily that he's saying he's racist, but he's, like you said, sundown towns. He's not acknowledging a large portion of his audience lives in places that still hold values like that.
Yeah.
How this can be interpreted and used in the context it wasn't made. So this person, I don't know who Shannon Watts is, Jason Aldean, who was on stage during the mass shooting at Las Vegas in 2017 that killed 60 people and wounded 400, has recorded a song, "Try That in a Small Town," about he and his friends will shoot you if you try to take their guns. So, yeah, full of good old boys, raised up right. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town.
The good old boys.
So, he's basically pandering to the, blue blood in my veins, stomp through the mud people, but he's forgetting that most of them probably still have the General Lee flag in their house, and the if you're going to be like this, put your balls on the table and say, these are exactly what I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead, they'll put it out and say, how could you possibly think that this was potentially nationalism being written in country's music form? What are you talking about?
How dare you say that I'm a fascist when I'm literally just quoting Mein Kampf?
Yeah. So again, I'm not necessarily saying that. So here's Jason Aldean's follow-up. "In the past 24 hours, I've been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song, a song that has been out since May and was subject to the comparison that I direct quote, was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous." I'm sure if I click that, it's going to try and take me to Twitter, which I can't use. Put your balls on the table, Jason.
I don't know. You can't write something that is like obvious what your message is, and then be like, "Oh, you're reading between the lines. How dare you like read between the lines in regards to what my message is?" And it's like, yeah, but you're like you're whistleblowing throughout the entire freaking thing.
The problem of it all is pitting people against each other, the invisible enemy, as it were. People assuming they're coming to get my guns. Well, you know what? Maybe if you were a little bit more responsible, you stopped letting your fucking kids get them and taking them to school, nobody would be talking about taking your guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the problem is the United States wants to have fucking AK-47s, and then the rest of the world are the ones that learn from those mistakes and say, yeah, we're going to not allow this. It's... The problem is not that not that we're saying that Jason Aldean was specifically being racist, nationalistic. He's obviously being pro-gun. Yeah. I mean, that's obvious. Yeah. And he's being pro-rural values.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that being religious or whatever.
Yeah, you can...
It's just...
You do you as long as you let other people do them too.
It's poor timing for the context of the world. The kind of like, in my perspective, I don't think we share the same perspective on this, but I think Oppenheimer is a poor timing to make a movie about the person who was directly in charge of creating what has changed the world's negotiations since then, because they all end in, we'll nuke you. You know what I mean? Like, Russia's at war right now, and any day we're basically waiting for them to say, well, the West has interfered enough that we're arming nukes now.
Maybe that's the perfect reason for there to be a movie about him, so people understand that he didn't agree with what he did, and he really hates how everything went with the creation of the bomb after he created it, that he regrets his own creation.
It is tough.
Why?
Because it is after the
I
fact.
think that's I mean, hindsight is 20/20,
thing
but also
is
you're not going to learn. The past isn't there for us to be offended by. The past is there for us to learn from, right?
No, but when you make a movie glazing someone who
I don't think it is
created the thing that destroyed Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
I don't think I doubt that Christopher Nolan is like glazing anything in his movie.
I was getting the opinion that it's more of a American superiority movie.
No.
We beat every other country to the nuke.
No,
with all of these great minds.
I didn't get that opinion whatsoever.
I guess we'll have to see when it comes out.
I think this is maybe like when you saw that surgeon video about the sub thing, and you just immediately assumed that he was going to make commentary about how to like surgically put these people's goo bodies back together. And I was like, no, Evan, he's talking about how they got instapotted and gooified in the ocean, not about like how you can surgically put that goo back into human-shaped mush.
Yeah, my problem was everyone basically using the sub implosion as view, like to get views. And the title was A Surgeon Explains What Happens in the Sub. And I was like, what the hell is a surgeon going to explain about people that were gooified?
That's because he has a medical understanding, and he can explain how they became instant pot goo. I can't scientifically explain that because I don't have a medical opinion.
Yeah, I don't either. I just thought the title, it struck me in that way. Just like some things strike me in a weird way.
Excuse me.
Sheriff McClaw dog as an egg.
But that was just my perspective.
But then we watched the video, and it was good.
Yeah, the guy was good video. He didn't do what I thought he was going to do. And Oppenheimer might not be what I think it is either.
I doubt that it will glorify the
There's going to be a lot of people that look at it from the American superiority angle. Because they already do.
That's because that's how their mind is already pre-programmed, right? And you can't take people out of that. Like, if that's
I'm just saying, it's my perspective. I appreciate your argument towards it, but it's currently my perspective.
Okay.
Thank you for appreciating it or allowing it to exist. The only other article I really found was adrift for 3 months. An Australian man and his dog lived on raw fish until Mexican fishermen rescued him.
An Australian sailor and his dog have been rescued after 3 months adrift at sea. 54-year-old Timothy Lindsay Shattuck was found on his damaged catamaran by a fishing crew in the Pacific about 1,900 kilometers from land. The fishing crew says the man and his dog were in a desperate state with no provisions or shelter. Shattuck told an Australian news station he and his dog survived on raw fish and rainwater. The entire crew is expected to arrive in Manzanillo, Mexico today.
Wow. So I'm wondering how it happened. Grateful to be alive. I would think so. 3 months. It's always important to tell someone where you're going. So if you don't come back, they know to look for you.
This is why I don't like the ocean.
I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling a lot better than I was, I tell you. That's so funny. He looks like Wilson. I'm just trying to see. The Sydney man's catamaran set sail from the Mexican city of La Paz, but was crippled by bad weather weeks into the journey. He said the last time he saw land was in early May as he sailed out of the Sea of
Look
Cortez
at that pretty face. Did you just
into
wink
the
at them
Pacific
as a
where
sausage?
there was a full moon.
How dare you?
Which is important to remember. He had been well provisioned, but no electronics or ability to cook from the storms. There were many, many bad days and many good days, which is interesting. The energy, the fatigue is the hardest part. It would be tough floating in the middle of nothing.
No.
You know what I mean? I love the way Krissy says, maybe. What about this maybe?
Maybe.
Bella sort of found me in the middle of Mexico. She's Mexican, he said. She's the spirit of the middle of the country.
Everything allowed to be
And
sassy
she
on that
wouldn't let me
birthday.
go. I tried to find a home for her 3 times, and she just kept following me onto the water. She's a lot braver than I am, that's for sure. So it looks like the dog that he took with him was a stray that just happened to take a liking to him, and he tried to find her a home and decided the pirate's life was for her. I did add pizza back, I think.
What's Pizza Hut? Is Pizza Hut deep dish cheap pizza? I haven't had. Sometimes I really miss
a nice greasy pizza.
Yeah. I was craving dry ribs, so maybe because we need to run into town today, right? Maybe we can run into the co-op and see if they have dry ribs and Caesar salad. I just want, the good old Canadian classic, some dry ribs and Caesar salad.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When we say that, what that is?
You're gonna go to, a restaurant that has Canadian food. You're gonna find on the menu dry ribs and Caesar salad.
Freaking dry ribs and Caesar salad. Let's find a good picture.
Yeah.
These aren't what we're talking about.
Go to images, yeah.
Because they're
there you go, Snooker Shack. That's in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, actually, and that
looks like some good. We've had this exact meal.
Yeah, we would order it.
Yeah.
It's basically they're like.
What the fuck is Canadian food?
Yeah, exactly. They're basically like they're not actually ribs. They're like the rib meat.
Yeah.
In a batter?
I don't know. Is this a Canadian thing though? Jason, let us know. Is this like dry ribs? Do you have this in the States or Mr. Levity?
Miss Levity.
Do you have dry ribs in England? This shit's good. Squeeze some lemon on it.
It says that it's a big photo, but it won't let me see it large. Stupid Facebook.
You've never seen it?
What?
You've never seen dry ribs?
Here, this is actually a pretty... Oh, Vern's Pizza? That makes sense.
Vern's.
I want you to open up a large... Oh, yeah, there we go. So that's a good picture. So, yeah, it's like, I don't know, breaded meats.
Deep fried bits of dough. I don't know. And then you squeeze some lemon on it, usually. It's real good shit.
Yeah, squeeze some lemon on it. Get yourself some Caesar salad. It'll make your mouth all garlicky and anchovy.
So I usually stay away from ribs, though, so it's possible it exists here. I mean, it's as much of a rib as the McRib is.
Yeah.
It's like pork choppings.
I don't know what kind of meat it is.
I assume it's offcuts of pork and gristle and like the pizzle.
It's good though.
Yeah, I definitely.
It's best if you can get bone free. I don't like the bone in.
No comment. It is true though. Boneless, just like with chicken, is easier because as North Americans, we like to take the biggest bites possible. Which, in the best ever food review show that we watch, the worst part about it is in some places they're like, oh, it takes too much work to take all the bones out, so they cleaver smash it into the meat, and they just kind of like very delicately eat it. But It looks like the internet kind of took a little plurp there, but yeah, we're gonna run into town, I think.
Got some stuff to do today.
Yeah, we gotta go talk to the sawdust people and the grocery store and some home store items. Yeah, we'll.
I hope I get dry ribs.
I've been setting a short to come out every day at 6 p.m. our time. Just, I don't know, it seems to be working. So I'm just kind of going with it. And we'll have one out later. And what's a sawdust people? Oh, it's just people we go to for sawdust.
Yeah.
And then we eat that sawdust. That's a Canadian diet, kind of beaver things.
Keeps us regular.
Showing up on my list is good. Yeah, they're getting good views. I like that we're able to take bite-sized pieces of things.
Yeah, and put it out there for people who watch it.
I would also like you to know I included that background music in the one yesterday for Carl's music on purpose because it makes it seem like it's gonna be one of those generically happy ones.
And then he's like, "Fuck you!"
Then he's like, "Eat shit! I'm not going in that, loser." The voiceover Carl one is excellent. Sounds very natural. I used to do stupid little voiceover things at work for safety stuff, so it wasn't out of this world, but it's just on my phone, so it's not the best quality.
Yeah.
But you lovely humans, like I said, unfortunately, Jinjee has been sleeping in the dark hole. You can't really see him. He does say hello.
Yeah. That's his butt.
Yeah, that's his butt way back in there. Yeah, don't look at my cat's butt, okay?
Cat butt. But anyways,
we love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Take care. Muchos gracias.
Bye.
Bienvenido.